Hi, Sir Connington here. I I've only seen a Fantastic Four and Pixels yesterday. It's been a long time since going to a film, so I tend to like to aim my film visits, and it works out very well. The last time was Ant-Man, and a single viewing, and the previous ones were is disaster titled, I suppose. The San Andreas and Jurassic Park, or Jurassic World, but Pixels and Fantastic Four made for a great afternoon. I had intended to see Inside Out and went to the wrong screen, so when Fantastic Four was on the screen, I wasn't deterred from, believe it or not, all the bad press about it. Like, people want a reboot here and they complain about the previous reboot, but I've enjoyed the first two, and this new one, it's an interesting idea to make them unknown to each other, and it's cool to see an interesting genesis of its upper in time from M's older brother. So that's a deep-seated annoyance that he can, fittingly take out on others, but that just sounds from how suffering goes. You inflict it on the next person, I suppose. But Dr. Von Doom, a good example of a deserving character, even if he suffered for his own intelligence, and probably went through a far more jarring suffering from his gifts, though being combustible and being turned into a mass of rocks is certainly up there. So I really like the film, and great character moments, and interesting new aspects of Reed's powers that I don't think he's ever masqueraded as another person. He's just had to stretch out his body parts. Apparently, from the Silver Surfer, he can do that anywhere. So I thought I would leave at that screen and go to the correct screen for this communication, because inside Inside Out was a big draw to me. Like Pixar and his house is any houses. It's given us a few laughs from reciting lines. I know it's DreamWorks, but it's interesting theme or film genres too. But from reciting lines and cars and and any other Pixar films, the Incredibles, they've really entertained us and up. Certainly, we'd relate very much to the golden retriever who could speak to people almost, and what we were thinking. But it sounds like I'm hyping about the film, but it was a very entertaining one, and I'm not an Marvel purist at all, but I'm catching up on Comic Book Girl 19's podcasts and watching some of her epic history about X-Men. It's pretty cool. I just to see how strengths or supposed weaknesses of people, I like to see them as strengths, and it's very true that the audacity for being born with these gifts or other, they people seem to single that out more, but I don't just take these films as a popcorn film. I certainly see the deeper story within, and so as enjoying how Pixar, I suppose their brainstorming are very short events. They come into the room and say, "Hey, what can we add feelings to now?" As their thought process has been pretty amazing, as people have listed all their films. So they have cars with feelings, toys with feelings, books with feelings. Why not feelings with feelings? So you'll probably assume that I wish I did leave the Fantastic Four and go to Inside Out, but I think as I was going to see a film about characters who are controlled by their emotions quite literally, I guess that as the Fantastic Four were first affected by their emotions and feeling controlled, once they got some control of themselves, it worked out for them. And I really liked the last nod when the thing says the experience is fantastic, and that's always a good nod to the title of the film, a good name drop. Hey, say that again. It's it's fantastic. So I'll follow their lead and say, and Fantastic Four was fantastic. So now on to Pixels. I think I certainly the main draw of Pixels was Peter Dinklage, and let's face it, who the games as well. It quite a funny look at the seeming uselessness of pop culture, at least in not as important as everything else, but it means a lot to the people who could identify with a character, or like outside the realms of possibility, as gifts seem to be beyond that sometimes. But Peter Dinklage certainly seeing a young version of himself, and he pretty much captures his Tyrion characteristics in everything I've seen, which is pretty cool. I don't know, is it Letterman or some high profile interviewer? He told he said how in his earlier years, his first time out in Brooklyn, he'd have to really decide whether he wanted to be filmed as a leprechaun, or if he wanted to just slog on through his theatre, and well, very much enjoying his theatre, but if people weren't signing him on, it's a great thing to it seems unfair to focus on people as much, but because it was an inspiring story from him, and I think overall the characters of Game of Thrones, certainly there are a great amount of them that were given a great life by the actors who play them. The Hollywood touch makes them look less like their heraldry is, or where some in the extremes were compared to their heraldry, like Ian Glenn's and Jorah Mormont's, and to look like a bear and such. But it's great to see just their general success from even before and certainly after Game of Thrones. But Peter Dinklage with a rotary light cannon taking out centipedes and Pac-Man, and aiming himself the fire blaster, rock'em bullet certainly. Then as it's an Adam Sandler film. I I think we all appreciate him as a icon for his films, and it's nice to see Happy Gilmore or Happy Addison as his company title. I think it 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 shows which you can pay homage to of your past works, and how things from your past, it's pretty good to keep an eye on them, and helps to add to your path to the future, as they say. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is mystery, and the 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 present is a gift. But I think it helps to think of that. But Pixels was a great, entertaining film, and I knew it would be. I don't think I've ever been disappointed. I set it against my own skills and talents, and although I've stepped back from a degree of graphic design, and like I'd certainly have ambitions for Hollywood eventually. Think big. I think it helps. And then if you find a medium ground between that'll work out pretty cool. At least I've connections with Hollywood, and some uncles in LA, so at a point I was told if I learnt enough, and hopefully I'll find my way out there. Chicago is a first stop at the end of next month, so that'll be pretty cool to go out to America for the first time ever. So to hopefully meet, hearing all these stories about meeting these actors and actresses casually, just walking down the street, if any of them live in Chicago. I'm not planning my sojourns to coincide with them or anything. I just hear people in LA and Hollywood and LA, they every day maybe they walk down the street to pick up some groceries, and they happen to eat an idol of theirs. So it would be great fun to eat some local celebrities, but well, I'm coming off Pixels a bit, but I think just identifying with idols and hoping to eat them, and then seeing a film of theirs you really want to. I think it's relevant, but I'll watch my videos again and just scripting makes sense, but just keep it focused on the film, but it's great to want to expand on my unscripted thoughts, and will see myself how I can pull myself back to the main point. But Pixels and Fantastic Four were a real blast for afternoon's entertainment, and was seeing there's certainly a moral in video games that like are cheat codes which we held so valuable as us, and the evolution of the design, the rehashing of games from the 1980s. I don't know how far back you go, but as that was 1982 in the film. Their historical facts are, and they gave us an education in the time and programming of these games. So I certainly see a rehashing and reboot of Pac-Man, and it's I certainly love the old arcade games. That's easy. That people have in the world. Like Time Crisis brings back great memories, and it's quite fun to play that. So you can see how they turned where it wasn't taken seriously at all. So Adam Sandler and I should really do research, but the wedding crasher, the wedding ringer, it pays to do your research on films, but he's a cool guy, and even though he met Lady Lisa, which I didn't know anything about from Dojo Quest, but it's good to see if they're nerds in real life, and even playing nerds as characters. It's great to see him get a pixelated girl. But then as she was one of the enemies and taken away once the game was over, thanks to their game-changing strategy. I'm some of a pun enthusiast myself, so I appreciated the game. It's a real game changer, and the nod to the audience was it's good to have some light humour, and with their light weapons as well. It's if we're ever attacked by these video games, it might Hubert, I don't know of him, but when he casts an interesting insight on the kind of evolution of games we like from him watching Last of Us, and he's shaken to his core and saying so much blood. I think that's very telling. I've never played The Last of Us, but you could make out that was the characters, and I don't know much about the finesse and just keypad masher format of games, but there's purists and the core of all fandoms, so they'll analyze the Last of Us as the most violent game they've ever seen. It's compared to the pattern analysis, and which makes young kids, and I'm sure there's plenty adult champions too, that it makes them it gives them the edge over their opponents, so they probably make them it's certainly a rich culture, so I'm going off a bit, but basically I've very much enjoyed Fantastic Four and Pixels, and I'll probably get around to seeing Inside Out if it's out for another week. I think Frozen was out for 2 months, and I'm not perturbed to say that I saw it 3 times in the cinema, and so I can appreciate the work that Hollywood puts into their films, and there's a lot more to them than popcorn selling and just shiny images. If I've to hear hear much more about the bygone age of films, although I've heard that more from myself than I've heard it from anyone else, but I think we can appreciate our age of technology, so keep them coming, Hollywood. Thanks very much.